Stick a sock in it, boys. It's done. Let's go in some douche spit. So it's over, man. Like something I realized with the modern man has this traditional mindset that he keeps trying to force women into this like traditional role that they're normally supposed to be in. And the problem is women don't want to be also incapable of playing the traditional modern role of what a woman used to be. And for some reason, guys, they continue to try to put women in these fucking pigeonholes of the traditional woman. And what guys have to realize is we have to start fighting fire with fire. Like at this day and age, it's not the traditional sense of a man, a woman, her barefoot and pregnant in the house. He goes to work, take care of the family, all that stuff. It doesn't exist anymore. The modern woman refuses to comply and listen to a man on any circumstances. If she's in her prime, like of her, if she's in her prime birthing years, women are just blowing, like wasting their birthing years, their prime years, like just it's insane. It's like rappers, like they're like pro athletes and rappers just blowing through it, and then they get to about 30 something, like holy shit, like oh, this is serious. My date, I don't get dates anymore. Guys not approaching me. I need to go ahead and settle down now. It is so obvious. I mean, like we all have heard this, but the problem with most guys is men are trying to fight like a just war, and women are using guerrilla warfare tactics. And what I don't understand is men can actually win much better in the dating game if we fought like the guerrilla warfare that women are fighting. We're actually better strategists long term than what women are. But for some reason, I gave this analogy. What guys are doing is guys are like, let's say guys have a bunch of automatic. We have tanks, we got AKs, we got drone strikes, we got all this fucking artillery chilling in our garage, and for some reason, we keep going to war with swords and horses, despite having all this artillery and all this weapon inside of our garages and ready to go fight these chicks. We keep coming out with swords and horses, and all women have really is like 6-shoot revolvers and old muskets. Like what they're using weapon wise is not better than what we have in our storage. But for some reason, men are going into like the medieval ages to fight this modern war where women are very, very much handicapped in the weaponry that they have. And to be honest with you, it's almost worse than that. Guys are almost giving women the artillery. They're giving women their weaponry to be beat by. And then guys are just charging head forward. They're not trying to use any type of strategy, no guerrilla warfare. They're following the 1950 script of traditional man that women already know your playbook. And it's so confusing because it's like not only are we are handicapping ourselves weaponry wise, we're also handicapping ourselves with giving women our playbook and our strategies. And then guys wonder why they're losing in the dating field. It's like, man, I had an incident not too long ago, like yesterday, where I was sitting down. I'm at a food truck stop. See a pretty young lady. She's looking at me. I'm looking at her, and I give her like a wink and like a grin, and she smiles at me. I'm like, "Oh, come over here." And so she comes by. I'm like, "Hey, what's up, man? Like, you like what you see?" And she's like, "Well, maybe." I was like, "Here, take my number down. Give me a call Monday after like 3 o'clock. I'll be free. We'll go get something to eat or something like that." She's like, "No, you take my number down." And I'm just like, "What? What are we talking about?" Like, ma'am. And I said this to her straight up, "Ma'am, I don't want to play phone tag because I know how you guys are. Look, I don't want to fucking play this game because what happens is I take your number down, I text you, you don't respond. Then I wait like another 2 or 3 weeks, I text you again, I don't respond. And then when your well runs dry and you're out of guys to go to, then you'll hit me up. Hey, how you doing, big head? What, you want to go hang out? I know this cool place I want to go eat." And that's the stupid game they play. I'm like, I'm not playing that game. I refuse to play that game, as a matter of fact. So here, take my information. Reach out to me when you want to go out and do something. Just reach out to me. Or reach out to me at the time that I propose for you to reach out to me. Because that way I put the onus on her so I don't have to sit there and deal with just the headache of like, oh, okay, when did I text this girl back, blah, blah, blah. Because for the most part, men are very earnest. If I tell you to reach out and call me tomorrow around 3 o'clock, I tend to actually communicate with you and take you out to go do something at 3 o'clock tomorrow. Women don't operate that way. Women are operating off an opportunity based, last moment and what they can get. They're trying to maximize their fucking looks to get just stupid prizes though. That's the problem because they're not even playing a smart game of maximizing their looks to get something that's really worth the damn in the long run, like which is called a family and a husband and a household. Because that would be the smartest play for your long term safety and longevity of survival as a woman. Is that you find a husband who's family oriented, who has a great career, who is a well adjusted man, who wants to take care of you, and then he helps you navigate through this life. You have kids, you have grandchildren, and you live a wonderful existence until your dying days. That would be the optimal condition to use your youth and beauty for. But what we got girls doing now in today's world for their youth and beauty, they're blowing their youth and beauty on Instagram likes, OnlyFans money, simps, and getting busted up by the Tyrones and Chads of the world. And so it's frustrating as a logical thinking man who is family oriented, who holds traditional values, to search this market to find a woman who's really worth even investing in any worth of energy. Like I said, I asked for the most basic thing, which is, hey, you reach out to me tomorrow. I gave a time and a date. Reach out tomorrow to me so I can take you out. You're not even paying for it. I'm asking for me to take you out. All you got to do is contact me tomorrow. I can't even get the simple contact. You know why? Because women's vanity is so fucking great that they really feel you should be investing all your time and energy and resources and attention into them just for them to fucking blow it off and not do shit with it. And that's the frustration of the current war that we're fighting in the modern dating scene. And this is why I'm so confused with guys, because guys are trying to put square pegs in a round hole. Guys continually keep trying to create wives out of these women who don't want to be wives. Any situation, for the most part, I don't know if guys are very familiar. If you go look at the marriage statistics, the average marriage in the West, in America, lasts about 8 years maximum. 8 years. That is considered a short marriage. I don't know if you guys know this. Marriage prior to like 1950, 1960, 20 to 30 years was like on par. That was the average length of a marriage. Like there really was death till us part. You can't find too many couples that have been together for 20, 30, 40 years. It doesn't exist. That age group is dying off. That's a relic of the past. The modern marriage is finished before 7 or 8 years. Finished. And realistically, it's finished long before then. They just finalized the paperwork at the 7 to 8 year mark. Most marriages are done a year, 2 years in. It's just a matter of figuring out the formalities of how you're going to exit. That's really what the game is for the most part. And so, as I sit here and I survey the land, I really think about like family, what would I want to do, what type of life I want to build. I begin to realize like there is nothing left in this bastion of landscape known as the Western world. Like it really is fucking finished. You are not going to find a wife. And if you do, you are maybe one of the lucky few. Most guys are just walking impending dooms of marriages ready to fucking collapse. And some people say, well, what about my kids? I want to have kids. I want to have a family. Bro, you might have to go to the Ronaldo type situation where you just get a surrogate. You get a test tube baby, have somebody just raise the kid that you have with good genetics and take the kid and that'll be your kid and just no mama. Because right at this point, even if you have the kid, the chances are your wife's going to divorce you, take half your stuff, and you're not even going to be able to see the kid anyway. So what's better? To go out, kids, and just at least get to enjoy life, and then maybe have kids later on when you're an older man, if things start to rectify themselves, or to put yourself through the gauntlet of the test, which is modern dating and relationships, get got, take all that losses, go to the marriage will, lose your kids start to hate you until they get to damn near adults, and then you can have a relationship with your kids once they're fucking adults, after they already been fucking ruined by their woman, by your wife. And that's the game, man. That's what's going on now. And it's frustrating because I look at man and I say, man, we have the tools to win this war. If guys just stopped putting women in traditional roles and really just went hard and made it, if we just, because I see some guys are starting to do it. Some guys are, they're upholding the modern, they're playing guerrilla warfare. There's a lot of guys out here holding guerrilla warfare. But the problem is we got too many guys who are still trying to, they're letting women play the traditional role, and all the women are doing is like, oh, this dumb, I got them, and they just fuck them. They ruin their credit, they ruin their lives, and they ruin everything about their everything they can do in life, and it's just gone. And it's like, guys, do you not see we're in a war? Stop with the fucking chivalry. Stop with the old Knights of the Round Table. This is Game of Thrones. Absolute power. There is no fucking honor amongst thieves, and these women are thieves. They are stealing your time, attention, money, and resources, and you guys are letting her. And that's the real issue: is that guys are letting them do it. Letting, like, I could have took that girl's number, called her, played the game, but I would be giving into her game. And she gets off to that. She gets off to the idea that she can reject this guy who's actually a fucking decent dude because she knows she's a piece of shit. And so it helps her justify her action that, well, I can still attract good, wholesome guys despite me being a piece of shit. And see, as men, we got to stop letting certain women in our presence. I don't care how good she looks. If she's not true to the game, let it go. Or dog her out. Dog her out as best as possible. Like, just put her on a leash, not a leash, but like ask her out for a date. Tell her you're gonna take her out to this nice restaurant and just ghost her. Just don't show up, and then block her number. Play the same game they play with us, because it's way easier to get them than it is to get us. Because we can pretend. Guys are much better actors. We are much better actors and pretenders than women ever will be, because we make more money, we have more power, we have more influence. But you need to start using that to teach them a lesson. When I say teach them a lessons, I mean like ghost them. The same way they ghost us on dates, they ghost us via the phone number. You ghost them. You get them excited for something. We're going to take you on a trip. I'm going to do this. Have her go to the airport and then just ghost her. Disappear. We got to fight fire with fire. That's really my message of today. Fight fire with fire. Stop playing the game. The traditional roles is done. We're not going to... Traditionally, women were virgins when they were married. We don't have any more virgins. So why are we still behaving like we are dating virgins? We gotta stop it. We gotta be rational and start opening our eyes and really looking at the game for what it is, which is it's guerrilla warfare. And once we start beating them at their own game, eventually they're gonna cave in and say, you know what? We want things to go back the way they were. What are your guys' demands? We want a treaty because you guys are killing us in this war right now. But guys are too scared to fucking fight back, and they love pussy too much. So we're just all stuck in this situation. Hey, for more information and learn more about it, reach out, apexsapien.com, book a consultation, see how I can help you out, man.